This is Sarah Trometer, ALTC 802, Planning for Instruction, Assignment 1. So of all the options that were given to us, I decided to look at the KESA rubric and select one component to rate my school district at, which is Wichita Public Schools, and give suggestions. So I decided on relationship, component 1, which is staff. And I went section by section and discussed how our school was doing. So on number 1, the collaboration among staff. Rating, I said transitioning. I did this because in-services are scheduled on a regular basis. So we have opportunities to collaborate. On those in-services, the first half of the day is spent with the building that we teach in. And then the second half of the day is spent with other teachers who work in the same discipline throughout the district. So this gives us both a chance to discuss things going on in our building, things that need to be discussed for our building, but then also a chance to talk to teachers throughout the district and get ideas from them. And another thing they do is our professional development day each month. So we are allowed a half day off from teaching to go to professional development in our discipline and discuss anything we need to or listen to the topic that we are being educated on. Number 2, support for educators, years 1 through 2, rating. I did transitioning. New teachers are provided with the mentors for the first 2 years. All new teachers, not only people like me that are doing a transition to teaching program. And then number 3, support for educators 3+ years. For the rating, I put implementing. They do have peer mentoring process for all teachers. I think it needs to be expanded. And I think the mentors maybe need to have more of an education on what they need to do to mentor. Number 4, support for building/district leaders, 3+ years. And I rated this as transitioning. Our principals every month attend a principals academy where they go to sessions to keep up to date with district happenings, rules, regulations, things going on with the state, and then they can network with the other principals in the district. And number 5 is communication with district staff. For rating, I did modeling. In the fall, we were provided with a survey regarding our communication needs. Fill out if we thought we were being communicated with enough, our preferences for the communication, and things like that. District-wide communication happens daily per email. It is the most efficient way to discuss things with people. And then multiple departments have newsletters that are sent out weekly or monthly. These can be anything from the wellness committee, to your certain building, safety support, anything that goes on within the district. We are constantly receiving notifications of. So my reflection on this assignment. Some of my talking points are overwhelmed, understanding, speaking to my principal, and then explaining where I work. I was very overwhelmed in the beginning. I was looking at the rubrics, and it just seemed to be a whole lot to take in. And once I finally realized I didn't need to rate our school on an entire R, I started understanding more of what was needed, that I just needed to pick out one component in one area, and then it became easier. So then I spoke with my principal, trying to figure out the best way to figure the R's that our school district was working on, and she sent me to the strategic plan, which listed the goals and some information that was helpful. I work at Levy Special Education Center, so I teach adapted PE. So I look at things many times from the special education aspect along with the physical education aspect. So I'm kind of in two different disciplines. We are a freestanding special education center where kids come to our school when it's felt that their needs, either medically, emotionally, behaviorally, cognitively, cannot be met in a general education school, even with a special education class in a general education school. We have severe behavior issues, we have children on ventilators. It's just a very wide variety. Plus, then, in addition to the Levy, I go to 6 additional schools also and work with their special education programs. So when picking out 2 categories of the R's to look at for our school, the first one I decided to look at was relationship. And relationship focuses on staff, students, family, and community. One of the long-term strategic goals for Wichita Public Schools are to ensure that schools are trusted as a safe place by students, parents, staff, and community. Wichita Public has over 50,000 students, and 73% of them live in poverty. So it's important that the students feel that it's a safe place, feel that they're going to be taken care of, that their needs are going to be met. And it's also important for the parents to feel that way about the schools. We have over 97 countries represented, and there are over 105 different languages spoken in homes in Wichita Public School system. So one thing we do is provide interpreters on the phone or in person, and we can also get a translation of any document we want to send to parents or families or caregivers or guardians in any language that's necessary. I think that's important to make it feel like it is a safe place for the parents and the community and the students. We have over 43,000 volunteers in our schools yearly, and the students have done more than 19,000 community service hours. The other one I decided to look at was rigor, focusing on career and technical education, professional learning, resources, and data. These are 3 more of the long-term strategic goals for Wichita Public Schools. One is to increase the high school graduation rate, increase 3rd grade reading proficiency, and increase the percentage of students completing dual credit, concurrent credit, industry accreditation, or certification, and other college and career readiness opportunities. In 2018, the graduation rate for Wichita Public Schools was 74%, which is actually a 17.3% increase since 2010. Currently, there's 27 career and technical education pathways in 7 different career areas, and there's over 100 opportunities to earn college credit in high school. And I think this shows that Wichita Public Schools are focusing on the college and career ready curriculum. How this affects my school teaching classroom. Again, I work in special education, so at times the goals are not tremendously specific to us. Things like 3rd grade reading proficiency is not really something that our school is probably going to focus on. Our graduation rate, we graduate most of our students. However, making our building into a safe place for students and family is very important. We have a lot of nonverbal children, children in foster care, and so our situation is unique. But I do think at times we do have some advantages. As far as having yearly IEPs and quarterly progress reports, I feel that our communication with families and caregivers, we have a good opportunity for that to happen more than many other general education classrooms. In our we have transition teams, so as soon as children get into high school, they are part of this transition team. It works on where are they going to go with their future, where are they going to live, are they going to stay at home, are they going to be in a group home, are they going to be able to have a job, are they going to contribute to the society, which also ties into community-based instruction. In high school, our students go into the community. We have multiple businesses around town that have our students come in, learn to work with customers, learn to be in a public situation, and also it helps the businesses learn how to deal with children with special needs as employees. And we do have the ability to serve children until they're 21, so it's not an 18-year-old graduate, you're out program. They will provide services longer. Considerations. With my students, I really need to consider their exceptionality, what their diagnoses are, what their medical issues are, things like that. Many of my kids have communication deficits. We communicate through pictures, books, sign language, words, all kinds of things. All of my students have personalized goals. So those need to be paid attention. Those are in their legal document of their IEP. And then family dynamics. Many of the children I work with are in foster care or have been adopted. Some are in group homes. And many have medical and mental health issues also. So those are a number of things that we need to look at. This concludes my assignment, and thank you for your time.